runners for the 1979 Grand National. Now, Alverton had won the Gold Cup just a few weeks earlier, and was running with less than 11 stone, and consequently was sent off the 13-2 favourite, with Mr. Snowman's second favourite at 10-1.
Oscar is rather blind, but he's in now. This looks like it. They're off. And they're running down to the first fence now, and as they do so, the first to show is Purdo. It's Purdo from Rough and Tumble and Artistic Prince and Vindicate up with them, and Drum Rowan also, and Kick On towards the outside. But as they come down to the Melling Road, it's Purdo, Vindicate, Drum Rowan, Kick On. Just in behind them, Artistic Prince, and then comes Ben Nevis on the outside, Zongoliero with Rubstick, and over to John Hanmer.
And as they come to the first, Zongoliero and Rubstick towards the outside. Then on the extreme outside is Oscar, towards the near side is Purdo, then Double Negative right up with them, and they're over the first. And Vindicate is the first to fall. Vindicate is one of the fallers. Rough and Tumble the back marker, and as they go to the second fence, it's Zongoliero and Rubstick from Alverton, Purdo, then Drum Rowan and Artistic Prince. Double Negative a faller also at the first, and Wayward Scott, and as they go to the third, it's Purdo being hampered by a loose horse, but in the lead from Zongoliero, Rubstick, then Kick On. Behind Kick On is Artistic Prince, then Drum Rowan and Kick On as they go to the fourth, over to Julian Wilson.
Purdo right underneath the rails and jumps up one in front. Zongoliero towards the outside, and Alverton's right up there with him on the outside. Rubstick's there in the centre of the course, and just tracking Zongoliero and Alverton on the outside is Red Earl as they come to the one before Beechers, and it's Purdo who leads over it from Zongoliero, Rubstick, then Kick On in the centre of the course, and Alverton towards the outside. Just behind that is Oscar. Just inside, or just behind Oscar, is Rambling Artist as they come down to Beechers Brook. And it's still Purdo and Zongoliero towards the outside as they come to Beechers. Zongoliero, Purdo, and Purdo's down at that one. Purdo's down, but practically everything else seems to have jumped it. Bad mistake by Cartwright at the back of the field. Oscar's also a faller at Beechers, but coming to the one after Beechers, it's Zongoliero from Alverton on the outside. Rubstick is third, then Kick On and Drum Rowan. Then comes Red Earl, then Coolest Hall, then Artistic Prince and Lord Brown towards the inside, Rambling Artist towards the outside, then Wagner and the Champ as they come down towards the canal turn. The leader now, Zongoliero. Zongoliero from Kick On and Drum Rowan has made an incredible mistake and a fantastic recovery there. Zongoliero from Kick On, Drum Rowan towards the outside. Alverton, Sandpit is a faller. And over Valentine's Brook, it was still Zongoliero from Drum Rowan, Alverton, Lord Brown, then Kick On, then Rubstick and Artistic Prince, and Wagner and Coolest Hall, and Rambling Artist as we rejoin John Hanmer.
And at the next, Zongoliero lands in the lead from Alverton and Rubstick, and Drum Rowan has gone this time. And going to the next fence, Zongoliero from Alverton, Coolish Hall right up there, then comes Rubstick, then Rambling Artist, Kick On, then Lord Brandod and Red Earl as they jump the next. Zongoliero over first. Rubstick made a mistake, but he's still all right. Kintai made a mistake. And as they go to the next fence, Zongoliero leads from Alverton, Coolish Hall, Rubstick, Kick On, then Lord Brandod, Rambling Artist, Wagner on the inside, then Artistic Prince. Behind Artistic Prince is Red Earl, then Godfrey Secundus, Rough and Tumble, then Ben Nevis, behind Ben Nevis the Pilgarlic, Brown Admiral, Royal Frolic, Kintai, then the Champ, Flitgrove, and over to Peter O'Sullivan.
Yes, it's still Zongoliero. Zongoliero from Rubstick and Alverton and Kick On. Behind Kick On comes Coolishall, then Wagner. Then comes Artistic Prince, Lord Brown up with them and going very strongly. Towards the outside is Rambling Artist, Godfrey Secundus is next, then comes Red Earl. Behind Red Earl is Brown Admiral, behind Brown Admiral is Ben Nevis, then Rough and Tumble on the inside, and then the Pilgarlic. Behind the Pilgarlic is the Champ, and behind the Champ is Kintai. And the leaders now coming down towards the next fence, and it's Zongoliero from Rubstick, Alverton, Kick On, Wagner, Lord Brown Artistic Prince, Red Earl as they come down towards the next. Over the 13th, Zongoliero from Rubstick and Wagner, then comes Alverton and Coolish Hall. Then Artistic Prince just in behind them with Lord Brown then comes Kick On and Godfrey Secundus. Red Earl and Rambling Artist very close in behind the leaders, and Zongolero jumps this in the lead from Rubstick and Alverton. Then comes Wagner, then Artistic Prince and Godfrey Secundus and Lord Brown Dodd, and behind them come Rough and Tumble, and then Ben Nevis. Behind Ben Nevis is Coolish Hall, then comes Royal Frolic, and they're coming down now to the chair and being preceded dangerously by loose horses. And as they do so, it's Rubstick and Zongolero going to jump it together from Alverton. And it's Rubstick, and there a faller, Godfrey Secundus, a faller at that one. Rambling Artist is down also, and as they come down to the water, Ben Nevis is also a faller, and no Gypsy's gone, and at the water, it's Wagner jumps it in the lead from Zongolero second. Third is Rubstick, 4 is Alverton, 5 Artistic Prince, 6 is Lord Brown Dodd, 7 is Rough and Tumble, 8 is Coolish Hall. Behind Coolish Hall, Royal Frolic, then Brown Admiral, then Flitgrove on the outside, then Red Earl, then the Bill Garlic, then Mr. Snowman, then comes Snowtown Boy, then on the outside is Dromore, and those are the only horses left now as they run down across the Melling Road for the second time. It's Rubstick, Wagner, Zongolero, Artistic Prince, Lord Brown Dodd, his stable companion, Rough and Tumble on his inner, Alverton up there on the outer. Then comes Royal Frolic. Beside Royal Frolic is Coolish Hall, and then Brown Admiral. It's over to John Hanmer.
And as they come to take the 17th, it's Rubstick on the inside from Wagner. Wagner landed just in front, in fact. Then comes Zongolero and Alverton. And coming down to the 18th, it's Wagner on the inside from Rubstick, Zongolero, Alverton, Coolish Hall, Artistic Prince, then Flitgrove and Brown Admiral. All the leaders over safely. Royal Frolic still not far behind them as they go to the open ditch. It's Wagner, Zongolero, Rubstick, Alverton, Coolish Hall, then Flitgrove, then Artistic Prince, and this is the 19th now. And Wagner from Rubstick, Zongolero, Alverton, then Artistic Prince, Coolish Hall, Rough and Tumble, Royal Frolic, and behind Royal Frolic is Flitgrove, and then Brown Admiral, and over to Julian Wilson.
Wagner still, he jumps out in front with Ridley Lamb, then Rubstick, Alverton and Zongolero towards the outside, then Coolisaw with a good position towards the outside. Underneath the stand rails are Artistic Prince and Rough and Tumble going well. Just behind that is Royal Frolic. He's still going well enough as they come to the one before Beeches. And over it was Wagner who lands in front of Rubstick, then Alverton and Zongolero, then Artistic Prince, and a faller there was Brown Admiral as they race down to Beeches for the second and last time, with the field headed by Wagner still. Wagner pressed by Zongolero and Rubstick, and Alverton towards the outside, and Artistic Prince as they jump Beeches, and Wagner over it, and Alverton's gone. Alverton's gone out Beeches Brook, but all the other leaders seem to be over, but Mr. Snowman is down as well at Beeches as they come to the 23rd fence. Wagner now from Rubstick in second, Zongolero and Rough and Tumble jumping up on the inside. Dromore has refused at Beeches the second time as they run down to the canal turn. Churchtown Boy was also a faller after Beeches, but it's now Wagner from Rubstick on the outside. Rough and Tumble is third, Zongolero fourth, then Royal Frolic in fifth. That's the order over there. Coolish Hall picked on landing, then Artistic Prince and the Bill Garlic. Then there's a long gap back to Flitgrove, and then Red Earl, and then Lord Brown Dodd, and that's just about all there are as they jump Valentine's Brook, and all the leaders over Valentine's, with Wagner the leader from Rough and Tumble in second place, Zongolero is third, then Rubstick in fourth, then a gap back to Royal Frolic and the Bill Garlic and Coolish Hall and Artistic Prince, and then a long gap back to Flitgrove as they jump the next, and we rejoin John Hammer.
And Wagner in the lead as they come to the fourth from home, the last open ditch, but Zongolero up with him. Just behind them comes Rubstick and Rough and Tumble and Coolish Hall and the Pilgarlic, and that was the fourth from home, and Coolish Hall has gone there, and with 3 to jump, it's Zongolero just in the lead now from Wagner second, Rubstick third, then Rough and Tumble, the Pilgarlic, then Royal Frolic, but a long way back come the remainder, and at the third last, Zongolero and Wagner took it together, Rubstick third, then comes Rough and Tumble, the Pilgarlic, and Royal Frolic, and I'm looking a long way back and I can't see anything else, and as they go across the Melling Road, it's Zongolero, ridden by Bob Davis, who won it last year, still in the lead from Wagner, Rubstick, and Red Earl's refused, and over to Peter O'Sullivan.
Yes, it's Zongolero from Rubstick for Scotland. Then comes Wagner, and closing on them, or trying to close on them, are the Pilgarlic and Rough and Tumble, and these are virtually the only 5 left in it, although they're being chased by Royal Frolic now as they come down towards the second last fence in the National. And it's Bob Davies on Zongolero, still being pressed by Rubstick. The Pilgarlic is finishing strongly, and so's Rough and Tumble. Wagner looks as though he's going to be pulled up. They're coming down to the second last now, and it's Zongolero from Rubstick, the Pilgarlic and Rough and Tumble. They're the only 4 virtually left in it now. At the second last, they touched on almost together. Rough and Tumble on the far side, Zongolero Zongalero in the centre, and Rubstick, who's weakening, and the Pill Garlic, who's finishing strongly. They're coming down to the final fence in the National now. Rough and Tumble, John Frankham from Zongalero and Rubstick. Rough and Tumble lands in the lead from Zongalero and Rubstick. The Pill Garlic lands in fourth. They're racing towards the elbow, and it's Rough and Tumble in the lead from Zongalero second, Rubstick third. The Pill Garlic finishing strongly, and Rough and Tumble now weakening, and Zongalero putting in a tremendous run again, and Rubstick coming there from Scotland with his 16-nose man. It's anybody's race as they race into the final furlong, and it's Rubstick on the near side with the advantage over Zongalero, the weakening Rough and Tumble as they race up towards the line. It's going to be a victory for Scotland. It's Rubstick from Zongalero in the National, and as they come to the line, Rubstick wins it. Second is Zongalero, third is Rough and Tumble, fourth yet again is the gallant Pill Garlic, and then came Wagner behind Wagner.
A Grand National tinged with quite a bit of sadness due to the fatal fall of Gold Cup winner Alverton at second Beechers was won by Rubstick for Maurice Barnes and John Ledbetter at 25-1, Zongalero for Nicky Henderson and Bob Davis second at 20-1, Rough and Tumble third at 14s, and the Pill Garlic placed again at 16-1 in fourth. Rubstick would compete in Grand Nationals in the future, actually took the first fall of his career the following year at the Chair. Zongalero would also run in more Grand Nationals, and Rough and Tumble, who finished in third, would go on to improve upon that placing by finishing second to Ben Nevis in 1980.